everybody is wondering what's real on Shedeur Sanders. Is he the second best quarterback in this draft and destined to go high in the draft? And it's all smokescreen that he's going to go 2 to the Browns or 3 to the Giants? Or are all of these reports true and that NFL executives are really unimpressed by Shedeur and that he's actually might not even be the second best quarterback in the draft? Where do you stand on what is real with Shedeur?
Well, DA, I'll say this, that if Shedeur Sanders is the second overall pick, like you're suggesting is a possibility, or he goes well within the top 5, it will be the best kept secret that I've seen during the pre-draft process in a long time, because from the combine where everyone gets together, there's scouts, there's media members out in Indianapolis at night, really gossiping, spreading rumors. Maybe some are true, some aren't. All the way up until now, there have not been a lot of people that I've spoken to that feel like this is a top flight quarterback prospect who is destined to be a top 5 pick. So I think Jackson Dart is hot on his tail, and it wouldn't be surprising if Shedeur Sanders drops. I think the ultimate turning point for him and really the entire first round is number 9 overall with the New Orleans Saints. We heard the news this week about Derek Carr that his 2025 season might be in jeopardy because of injury. If the Saints pass on Shedeur Sanders at 9, and you could maybe even throw in the Jets at 7, we could see him fall maybe all the way to the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 21 overall.
Are you buying some people are suggesting that Jackson Dart could be the second quarterback selected in this draft ahead of Shedeur?
I think that's a distinct possibility. I don't think it's a slam dunk, but it'll be interesting to see what the betting markets show over the next 10 days until we get to the draft in Green Bay on the 24th. But he is a former big-time recruit, 3-year starter with a former NFL coach in Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, and he doesn't come with any of the baggage. He doesn't have Deion Sanders as a father, which I think helped get Shedeur Sanders on the map in terms of going from Jackson State to Colorado and then becoming a top-tier quarterback prospect in this class. But Jackson Dart is plenty talented too, and everything that I had heard from his interviews at the Combine, they went a lot better, and there wasn't as much awkwardness or contentiousness as Shedeur Sanders interviews in Indy.
So that's a real thing that some executives were put off that it could get contentious because of Shedeur's bravado or confidence or what have you.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's totally fair to him. I mean, Baker Mayfield is one of those scrappy quarterbacks who really rose in the 2018 draft to be the number 1 overall pick, and we really applaud Baker Mayfield in this resurgence that he's had in Tampa Bay for being someone that's brimming with confidence and has that bravado, but it's just rubbed a few people in the NFL the wrong way. But we know in the first round, all it takes is one team to have the owner sign off, the coach sign off, and say, we're going to welcome what is probably going to be a lot of attention. You could maybe even call it a media circus. It's not that Shedeur Sanders is a bad prospect, but he's not so good like a Trevor Lawrence or a Caleb Williams or a Joe Burrow, where owners and GMs would just really push any of the off-field stuff to the side. So more so with other top-tier prospects, the maturity, the bravado is more of an issue than it is normally.
So the Steelers are caught in no man's land because of Aaron Rodgers, and they brought in Shedeur for a workout. Is it plausible that Shedeur is available to the Steelers at 21, they draft Shedeur, and they don't have to do business with Aaron Rodgers?
100%. And I think Mike Tomlin's history dealing with a variety of personalities, from Le'Veon Bell to Antonio Brown, George Pickens has certainly had his moments there. They trade for DK Metcalf. They need a quarterback. It's a distinct possibility. Again, if Shedeur Sanders is not picked at 9, I think Mike Tomlin and that very stable Pittsburgh Steelers organization might actually be the best landing spot for Shedeur Sanders. He wouldn't have to come in and throw 50 touchdowns as a rookie for this team to be respectable. We know that Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record in Pittsburgh. So I feel like that is one of the better landing spots, Pittsburgh or in Los Angeles with the Rams and Sean McVay, to be the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford with the Rams.
In terms of where you think the draft gets real interesting, that there's kind of a dividing line and we don't know what's going to happen after this pick, where would you put that line?
Pretty close to where we were mentioning before with the Saints at 9, but I'll start a few picks before that. 6, 7, and 8. That's 6 with the Las Vegas Raiders. There's a whole new regime there. Tom Brady, part owner, is said to be really calling the shots. You have Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator. Pete Carroll is the head coach. Do they go running back? Do they maybe pick someone to be the heir apparent to Geno Smith? And then no one really knows what the Jets are going to do. Another team that picks at 7, new head coach with Aaron Glenn, new GM. We don't know. They could be the Shedeur Sanders team, or maybe they're the Jackson Dart team. So I think 6, 7, 8, and then 9 with the Saints, that is really the turning point of this draft, whether it's Shedeur Sanders or just other big-time prospects. We're not really sure what any of those teams will do because they have new pieces in place in the front office and the coaching staff.
Speaking of Shedeur, then you have the Jets snapping him up at number 7. Now, this is fascinating because Shedeur and New York, whoa, that feels combustible. But also you have a head coach in Aaron Glenn who kind of dismissed the Aaron Rodgers circus, doesn't want it, told him to take a hike. Shedeur comes with some circus, some attention for sure. We know Woody would like that attention. Not sure if his coaching staff would. So what makes you feel like Shedeur to the Jets could be a marriage?
So it feels like everything that you just laid out is completely true with what Aaron Glenn said at the owners' meetings down there in South Florida. I feel like that could be a little bit of a smokescreen, that they don't want anyone to really know, and they want people to be off the scent that they love Shedeur Sanders. That's not to say that I know it's going to ultimately happen, but that's my prediction right now. I'm drawing a comparison from Shedeur Sanders to Jared Goff. And although he was the defensive coordinator in Detroit with the Lions, the fact that Aaron Glenn was coaching against Jared Goff every single day in practice, a pocket passer that knows where to go with the football, not super mobile, but he's accurate, and really resurrected his career in Detroit, I could see Aaron Glenn, new coaching staff, new GM saying, look, we're going to bring him here. He's the right personality to be in New York. He would probably love to be with the Jets and be in this media market. He can handle it. He's been in the spotlight, even from Jackson State all the way to Colorado, a big spotlight his entire career leading up to this point, that it wouldn't necessarily be where Shedeur Sanders has to start right away because they have Justin Fields on the roster. And the Jared Goff comparisons, I could see them ultimately drawing those and having that be the ultimate reason why they picked Shedeur Sanders at 7.